I'm putting the barrels away because I need to drag the arena. But this is his second barrel tracks. Wow. I also think it's funny, his approach is kind of like always the same. The first is a little wonky though, and our approach going into it isn't always the same. Look, he always hits these spots right here. They're always the same. I love looking at tracks and seeing all the places that he goes, and especially like that one spot by the first barrel. Like there's no hoof fall any other area, it's just that, which could be good and bad. Shout out ABI Attachments. I'm not sponsored. Wish I could be, dude. Anyway, the guy that I have that's helped me, his name's Dave, also the same name as my boyfriend, and I have someone coming out tomorrow to also test the ground, because I have an idea of what good ground is. I couldn't tell you the science behind it. I know that water's good and can get it deep and can get it fluffy, and that's what I'm looking for, but not too deep. We're not looking to break any tendons now, and not too shifty. You don't want them to go flying. But anyways, I mean, you want them to go flying. You don't want them to go slipping and sliding. But anyways, you guys get the idea. Oh, it's my favorite part of dragging the arena, where I walk in and I make sure I don't mess it up. Gotta close this gate first. Oh my god, maybe I'll do a real arena tour today. I could have dug it a little deeper. We're not running today. No, that feels pretty good. I don't think I got as much fluff as I would like, but at least I got it, because since I watered it, which means I watered it tomorrow, it'll be better because I'll water it this afternoon again. I can go a little deeper with the drag and have a little bit of faith. But I think this is good for today. Like, we're not running anything. We're not going to be digging in super deep. But anyways, let's do an arena tour because woohoo! The first thing that we did, we put a new ground, and I mentioned in my last video that this, we brought in some local sand and we mixed it in with our old ground, which was just dirt. We have two gates, so that gate was always there. That's where I always come in with the tractor or the truck. And then we added this extra gate. So this is cool because we have a Gymkhana association that wants to rent out this arena. So they split the arena in half. They bring like a temporary fence. So they can run, like, for example, 2 sets of poles at the same time, or they can run poles here and they can run, you know, speedball or keyhole over there. Or we have barrel races. One can be an in gate, one can be an out gate. So this is brand new. I think I gave the ground a bad judgment because over there is just like the outsides of the arena are where I go over because I go straight and then I switch the direction that I go every single time I drag it. So if I drag it left, I'm going to drag it right one day. I should come in here and drag it across this way. It just takes like 4 times as long. So this is funny because you're probably thinking, oh, what can you put over here? Well, the Gymkhana Association needs a bigger shutdown time or shutdown line, sorry, so you have like the timers and then like your shutdown until like you hit the fence. They need a longer shutdown than the WPRA does. So, our arena was 4 feet short. From the third barrel because it has to be 15 or 20 feet off the fence, and it was 4 feet short, so we bumped it out 4 feet, and we have these big support beams so we couldn't push out the whole arena, so we have this drainage here for an aqueduct line or whatever, and so we had the company push it out. So yeah, now we have we can set a legal standard pattern in here. This is my camera stand. This is the project that was being done yesterday. So our wood was like totally rotted. And oh, he fixed the door. So it's kind of in complete shambles right now. But oh, my mom put a new mic on that. But yeah, this was rotted. The siding was rotted, so we had our ranch hand come and replace it. This is super nice. These speakers are like from like the 1990s. So we we'll upgrade that like one day, but right now we have our mic, which works. And we have this that should be off. Um, so this controls the speakers. We have like the mixing board and all of that. And I put a fan down here because whenever the sun directly shines on here, it just gets super hot. We do think we're going to put in some insulation and like some sheetrock. And oh my God. What are you doing there, bud? Eating flies? Love that. The side of it in here is supposed to be painted today. I just don't know when our dude's showing up. He fixed the door, so I'm trying to pull it, and I'm like, oh, it closed all the way. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my arena tour. This is our second day, and I felt like it was pretty average. Nothing super special happened. It wasn't like something clicked. I think it was just like day 2, the day that comes after 1 and before 3. And so we're just doing the same thing that we did the day before, which is just the train tracking, and I'm not asking him to go faster. If he wants to go faster, I let him. If he wants to slow down, I let him. And so this is just like so early, and I don't know how else to say it, and I'm recording this way ahead of time, so I know what ends up happening. And I mean, like, I'm recording this like a week, maybe 2 weeks out. Well, voice recording, you know what I mean. I'm editing this, and it's October 18th, and this happened like the first week of October. So what was happening was I had my ranch hand, he was painting, so Moon was still kind of like a little looky about everything that was going on. I don't want to talk during this whole entire thing because, like I said, it's just pretty average. What I do remember about this day is we're trying to focus on closing the door and getting snappy on the backside. And at this time I say, like, Moon turns the barrel, like, correct. You know, like, he makes a pretty turn, but he's not making fast turns. So, the first couple of times I go through this, he walks, and then he wants to trot, and then he wants to lope. And near the end, I just felt like we don't always have to end on like the greatest note, and so it was definitely like I just want to get 1% better, and sometimes the 1% is just showing up and having your horse go through, or at least have an idea of where he's supposed to go. But like, if this is what we want in like an automatic horse where we can sit back and people can say like, you know, she doesn't do anything with that horse, she just sits there and the horse does all the work, well, that's great. That means that my training's great. So obviously at a walk he gets it, and that's just getting it at a trot and then getting it at a lope. But yeah, so this is just a pretty average ride. This does go on, but I'm going to quit talking and you can see everything that happens. And yeah, had a good ride. Nothing terrible. Nothing to write home about, but it's one step closer to getting our finished pony.